So, Sony just came out with the perfect vlogging camera. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm mad. And I'm mad because it's even better than my Sony A7s III, the best camera I've ever used in my life. Or is it? And it's not only better than my Sony A7s III, but it's even cheaper. Both. And now, if you can't tell already, I'm talking about the brand new Sony ZvE1. And Pippin, it's true. Not only is it costing about half the price that I paid for my Sony A7s III, but it's a lot smaller. And it's literally the Sony A7s III, but better. Man, I wonder what they're doing. It's so loud. And now, my ninjas, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm excited. This is a huge deal. Because not only are you getting a more powerful vlogging camera, but also you're getting the image quality, the sauce from the Sony A7s III. And then on top of that, it's half the price and half the size. Now, Pippin, tell me that ain't gangster. We gotta talk about it. We have to. But before we do, I gotta give a huge shout out to today's coffee sponsors, Paul Kane, and someone else who didn't leave a name or message, but left a lot of coffee. Thank you so much for the coffee. And Pippin, if you wanna buy me a coffee, don't be shy. The link is down below. If not, no tea, no shade, cause I ain't a hater. My hood never let me be a hater. Okay, while we are getting settled in, I do want to go ahead and say that no, this video is not sponsored by Sony. I mean, they didn't even invite me to Sony Camera Camp. Like, Sony, what y'all doing? Like, holla at your boy. I do gotta make it clear that I do not have this camera yet, but my good friend Jason Morris does, and he let me use some footage for this video. I just want to let y'all know. So, huge shout out to Jason, and if you want to check out some more videos on this camera, check out his channel. And then also, just because I'm excited about this camera doesn't mean that you have to be. Remember, you are the drip. So now the Sony ZvE1, it is definitely the perfect vlogging camera. And yes, pimpin', I am upset. I'm mad, but also excited at the same time because of a few reasons. One of them being my Sony A7s III. Pimpin', I want you to take a step back and just imagine, because I don't have the camera. Remember, Sony ain't holding it down for me, but just imagine my Sony A7s III and then the Sony ZvE1 and then combine them. Because once you combine the two, then you get my first reason why this is the best vlogging camera, period. And that is the size. Having a camera that's a lot smaller than my Sony A7s III, but slightly bigger than the Sony ZvE1, while producing that much sauce is amazing. Like, that is a game changer for a vlogger. Because not for nothing, the Sony A7s III is a beast. Like, it's a heavy beast. And I've been having it on a tripod, ain't that bad. But just imagine the way that I shoot, and imagine hugging the block with something like this every day. Like, pimpin', I'm over here Popeyeing this thing so heavy. So when you are out hugging the block, size does matter. The next reason that the Sony ZvE1 may be the perfect vlog camera is its audio capability. And now when you look at it closely, yeah, it doesn't seem like the mic is all that because it looks like the Sony ZvE1, which it sorta is, but like on steroids. With the brand new Sony ZvE1, what's amazing about the mic is that it is omnidirectional, meaning that it can go all around you, front, back, side, wherever you want, it can pick it up. So not only do you have good quality mics, but they went extra gangster. It uses its AI chip so that you can actually have it on an auto mode to the point where it'll auto detect where you are, if you're in front of the camera or behind the camera. Boss. And then speaking of the AI chip, we gotta talk about the next thing, and that is the internals, meaning like the processor and the chip itself, because they pretty much packed the Sony A7s III, the Sony FX6, the Sony FX3, as well as the Sony A7 IV, all into this small body camera. In a camera that's almost the size of a Sony ZvE1. Like, pimpin'. And then speaking of which, we gotta talk about image quality, because you are getting the full image quality of the Sony A7s III in the Sony ZvE1. Sony, what y'all doing to me? What y'all doing? And I'm being serious, because my Sony A7s III cost me a little over $4,000, while the Sony ZvE1 has more features, has the same image quality as the Sony A7s III, and it's only around $2,100 or $2,200. So then, why did I even buy this? Like, I ain't even joking, because the Sony A7s III is my best, like it's my favorite camera, hands down. Another thing that it beats the Sony A7s III on is stabilization. And like seriously, after looking at so many reviews and like analyzing with my eagle eye, the Sony ZvE1's active stabilization looks better than my Sony A7s III's active stabilization for some reason. And then they also have the dynamic active stabilization, which is just insane. It looks like the camera's just floating. And now you are getting a bigger crop, but really? Like, really? And then something else that's amazing that the Sony ZvE1 is offering is the simple fact that they're using clear image zoom with autofocus as well as eye focus. Like they went ham on, because that is something that I wish they brought to the Sony A7s III, because the moment you do the digital zoom, you lose all autofocus, track focus, like you lose all of that. And then the icing on the cake to top it all off, they also have auto AI framing. And I know y'all sitting back like, what is auto AI framing? Pimpin', I said the same thing until, again, I told you I was eagle-eyeing these reviews. Look, I'm gonna just explain it like this. But basically, imagine this. Imagine you put your camera on a tripod, you set it up, you talk to the camera, and every time you move, the camera will literally look like it's moving to keep you in frame. Even if you are going off frame, the camera will put you in frame. Basically doing the exact same thing that the Pocket 1 and the Pocket 2 does when it does its tracking. But remember, it's on a gimbal, so the camera's actually physically moving. With the Sony ZvE1 though, the camera is not moving at all. Come on, like tell me that ain't gangsta. And that's why I'm mad. And now, although this camera is packing a bunch of features, it does have some cons that I've noticed. First one being heat management. Since the camera is packing so much smoke, yes, there are some heat management issues, mainly because the body is so small. So it's definitely not rocking the internal thermals like the Sony A7s III or even the Sony FX3 and some of the other like high horse Sony cameras. And that being said, pimpin', yeah, you can have some overheating issues. But this can vary depending on how you use the camera, meaning most vloggers won't have any overheating issues. And if you're not shooting at like 4K 120, 4K, you know, actually I should say 4K 60 because 4K 120 is available, it just ain't available yet. But yeah, if you're not shooting in 4K 60 for like the entire thing and like have long clips, like a long record time, if you're looking to record for like an hour, then yeah, the camera could overheat. Nobody stepping dog shit. But for the most part, if you're just using the camera like most people would, like just normal use, you most likely will not have any overheating issues. And I mean, I'm just saying. It just goes back to the whole Gopro Hero 11, like all the GoPro cameras. It goes back to that. Most people don't have overheating issues because they're not recording like hour-long clips in a room, like static, you know, not doing nothing at 420. Like they ain't doing that. But I can't see where this could be problematic for more like professional type. But for the everyday person, you should be good. And now the next kind of notice is that it does look a little cheap. Like I ain't gonna lie, it looks a little cheap to me. Like just the overall quality of the body itself seems a bit cheap. It's a great concept, full frame, Sony A7s III in a pocket-sized camera, but yeah, it does look a little cheap. I mean, I'm just being real, it looks a little cheap. And then the last con for me would have to be the actual price, because you see, yeah, it is cheaper. It's much cheaper than the Sony A7s III as well as the Sony FX3. Yeah. But on the other hand though, when you think about the price of like cameras like the Sony A7 IV, the Sony A7Siii, the Sony FX3. Hey, what you doing? What was I talking about? But yeah, when you think of the price of those cameras, because that's what I would mostly compare it to, mainly the FX30 as well as the Sony A7 IV. The Sony ZvE1 should be cheaper. I would say just under 2,000 would be perfect. I'm talking 1,900. Solid price, but 2,200, I'm not so sure. Other than that, when it comes to just content creating, vlogging, the camera is perfect. I'm just being real. Maybe the price, again, I do think the price could be better, but at the same time, you're just getting so much packed into the body of this camera. Like, it is crazy. Matter of fact, I might do just a all cons video next of why you shouldn't buy this camera. But again, that's a whole nother video. Right now, I'm just talking, it is the best vlogging camera. It is perfect for vlogging. So now, who is this camera for? And I would have to say it's mainly for content creators and vloggers. And Sony was not shy about that either. They actually made it known that the target audience is vloggers and content creators. Like, even if you're looking to take pictures, yeah, take pictures, but it is a video camera first, and it's a compact video camera made for vloggers. Ooh, it is windy. So I'm gonna be real, if you're looking for something to use a little bit in like a more professional environment or professional cases, I don't think that this camera would be for you. I would go with something like the Sony A7 IV. That would be like a solid camera for a more professional vibe and feel for you. But for somebody like me who likes to hug the block, travel, and have something small, lightweight, and also you don't have to use a mic. Like, I could get away without using a mic. Like, pimp. Okay, I got too excited. But yeah, for somebody like me, the camera is perfect. For everybody else though, do not rush out getting this camera. Like, pimping, y'all know how I am. There's no reason to rush out and go get something. Like, pimp, no, yeah, no. Oh man, look at my spot. Everybody hugging the block on my spot. What is going on? All right, these guys are filming something. Make sure I'm not in their way. Let me move over real quick. But yeah, pimpin', don't go out rushing to buy anything. That's always my motto. And also, use what you have first. I'm just saying, if you're looking to upgrade to something and you know you're gonna be out hugging the block, you know you're gonna be creating a lot of content, and you wanna bring the sauce, I'm gonna be real, we're a little cricket. The brand new Sony ZvE1 is the perfect vlog camera. I mean, I hate to say it, but yeah, they brought the sauce. All right, pimpin', those are my thoughts on the Sony ZvE1. I like the camera. Oh, we look cricket. What is going on here? But I'm curious to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments down below. What do you guys think about the new Sony ZvE1 being the perfect vlogging camera? Because remember, it is advertised as a vlogging camera. Video first. Nothing else. I would love to know your thoughts down below. Huge shout out to everybody who bought me a coffee. And pimpin', if you want to buy me a coffee, don't be shy. The link is down below. But if not, no tea, no shade, because y'all know I ain't a hater. And now, if you are looking to cop some new drip, I have a video explaining exactly how to choose the right drip for you. So click on up there, and I will see you in the next one. Like, full frame Sony A7. Whoa. Almost fell in the water.